Hello, my name is Chloe Folan, and I just wanted to jump on with a very quick message, like that registration is closing very soon for my Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshop starting in late February. And unfortunately, you can't just sign up at the last minute if it suits, because I send through meditation exercises to practice before you begin. And the only reason why I'm giving this extra message just before registration closes is because for this year, I'm planning on focusing on more Rainbow Bridge and RayPath related courses and workshops, and even mini meditations, meditation evenings. But for a lot of what I'm going to be focusing on next year, for some of those classes and some of those courses, you will need to have minimum completed either Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 or RayPath Healing Phase 1. In particular, I've had people very patiently waiting for me to hurry up and announce the date for my Rainbow Bridge Readings course, because I am going to restart that this year, and most likely April, May. I'm just finalizing the last few details, and minimum for my Rainbow Bridge Readings course, you would need to have completed RayPath Healing Phase 1 or Rainbow Bridge Phase 1, and you will be asked to start into Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 as part of that course. And it's a very deep course. I allow for nearly 12 classes, but the bulk of the classes, there's 9 main classes, and the remaining classes after that are for revision, reflection, catch-up work, any other extra insights that come through to share. So it's a class once a month for 12 months. And it's an extensive course in properly viewing the auric field and how to properly read auric phenomena, and at least a guide on how to do that. So when I do restart that course, as you can imagine, it does also take up a lot of my time, because you'll be giving me case studies. I'll be providing student support in between those classes. It's a deeply intensive course. So even though I still will be facilitating Rainbow Bridge and RayPath Phase 1 workshops, there's going to be minimal time for me to be able to do that. My focus is going to change to courses for people that have already completed Phase 1 in RayPath or Rainbow Bridge, so there could be a bit of a wait for my next Phase 1 classes. So a couple of questions cropped up where I was asked, do you need to be online for both of the Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 classes? No, but you do have to register properly, and you will need to then watch the recorded classes back and follow through with the homework given after both classes. So that's a must for the classes to connect properly and for you to work with the information given. So you don't have to be online for the classes, but you must register properly and sign up properly and follow along with the class recordings that are sent through to you. So that's all this is, just to really highlight that after this, I'm not going to have a huge amount of time for offering Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 and RayPath Phase 1 classes. It'll be very sporadic that I'll be able to offer them because of the Rainbow Bridge Readings course that is going to restart around April, May. I'm also going to be giving the Monadic Thread workshops starting in October. So if you're working through Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 and you've been doing that for quite a few months or maybe even a year or two, and you've been waiting for an opportunity to train in Monadic Thread classes are starting in October. I'm giving plenty of notice for them to allow people to do the right amount of clearing work to be able to avail of the Monadic Thread classes. As I've stressed before, you need to be completely externally clear. no external karmic imbalance, and you must have already started building to your monad. So in other words, you must have completed either Rainbow Bridge or Ray Path Phase 1, working through a substantial amount of Rainbow Bridge Phase 2. So I'm giving plenty of notice for those classes starting in October for people to be in a good rhythm with their Rainbow Bridge Phase 2 clearing work if you're interested in the monadic thread classes. I'll put a link to those workshops down the bottom of this video, as well as the other workshops I'm discussing where times and dates have been set and announced. And I will have another very special project coming up as well that I'll be opening up to people internationally. But even for that project that I'm finalizing notes for, you will need to have completed Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 or Ray Path Phase 1. And I'll release more dates on that special project when everything has been finalized in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm really just doing this. So as I'm announcing Rainbow Bridge reading, and as I'm announcing a little more detail on this special project that's been cooking for a few months, I don't want anyone turning around and going, but Chloe, if I'd known, I would have done Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 with you. You know, I don't want people after the fact going, well, if I knew you were going to be doing this, this, and that, I would have signed up. So look, that's all this is. So please, if you're hoping to do deeper Rainbow Bridge work or Ray Path work, or you're waiting on the deeper workshops and courses, momentum's gathering, that is what I will be focusing on for the bulk of this year. So by all means, if you would at least like the opportunity to avail of deeper workshops and courses for Rainbow Bridge or Ray Path healing, my Rainbow Bridge Phase 1 workshop is starting end of February. Please sign up if you wish to then be able to avail of deeper work. For those that have already done Ray Path Phase 1 and Rainbow Bridge Phase 1, hold tight. There's extra course and coursework coming that I know people will thoroughly enjoy, that are looking to deepen their experience in both those modalities. On that note, wishing everybody well. 7 ray blessings to all. And as always, please do contact me with any further queries. Blessings.